right, so let's take a look at this in the different ways that they want us to see it, and then we'll do it our magical way that seems way easier, in my opinion. But we'll take a look at all the ways. All right, so first they built all of these. All right, once again, I'm gonna tell you that it's kind of hard to build with thousands because we don't like. If I tried to build that in class, I don't have thousands. This is the smallest thing I have is hundreds, right? But drawing pictures, you can build it. We're looking at one whole, two hundredths, and three thousandths. So they built it one whole. There are no tenths, so that's why we don't see any of these. And then the next thing you see is two hundredths. And then those tiny, tiny, tiny things are like a tenth of this. So there are three tenths of this, which is three thousandths. All right, the next one we're looking at is one whole, one tenth, and one hundredth. That's why it's one, one, one. One whole, one tenth, one hundredth, one and 11 hundredths. All right, the next one that you're looking at is one and three tenths. So that's one whole and three tenths. All right, one and three tenths. And then the last one you're looking at, I can't make in my hands because I don't have nine tenths around me, but nine tenths and two hundredths, so 92 hundredths. All right, if we're going to put these on a number line, all right, the one that will go before one on the number line is 92 hundredths. And if we're looking at this like money, some of these almost look like money already. This looks like $1.11. This looks like 92 cents. If we add an emoji to zero to that one, it almost looks like $1.30, right? So let's take a look. All right, so they have placed our numbers on the number line. I'm just going to draw a line from each one. I hope that's not confusing, but our 92 hundredths is, like I said, the only one that is before the 1. All right, the next one would be the one that's closest to 1. We know this one's closest to 1 because there's a 0 in the tens place on this one. There's a 1 in the tens place. There's a 3 in the tens place on that one. So we also know that the next one would be 1 and 11 hundredths because there's a 1 in the tens place. And then our final one has a 3 in the tens place. Let me do this one with a different color just because it might be a little, it's going to cross a line. All right, there we go. So there is 1 and 3 tenths right there on our number line. So we can put them in order on a number line as well. We just have to remember where they would go on the number line. Finally, remember I gave you a method yesterday, stacking, right? So remember, step 1 with stacking. Step 1 with stacking is line up your decimal points. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is line up our decimal points. We have 4 numbers, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal points in a line. So we stacked our decimal points, we lined our decimal points up. Next thing says line up place values. So we're going to write all these numbers one on top of the other. But we're going to keep the ones place, the tens place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. All clear. All right? One above the other. I'm just writing the numbers that I have available on the left. So what I've done is I did step 1, line up decimal points. I did step 2, line up place values. Now I'm going to do step 3, add faces to save places. Remember, all adding faces to save places is adding zeros that show us the place value more clearly. This just shows us that there are 0. For instance, in 1 and 11 hundredths, there's 0 thousandths. In 1 and 3 tenths, there's 0 hundredths and 0 thousandths. In 92 hundredths, there's 0 thousandths. All right, so now that we've done that, ooh, I almost forgot. I can put an emoji 0 right there too, because there are 0 ones. All right, so let's figure out which one is the biggest and which one is the smallest, okay? We can probably do that pretty easy. Remember, what you would do is you're going to cover up everything except for what's on the very left. All right, so look one place value at a time. We're starting right here. So we're covering up anything that's not circled. So cover it up with your hand real quick. Can we already tell which one's the smallest? We can, because this one has 0 ones. It's the smallest. All right, so we've already found which one is the smallest. So we have already found which one would go first in our list. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go one place value at a time. Now that we found the smallest, can we find the largest? Actually, I don't even need to look at this one because I just used it.